This meeting is being recorded.
Good evening, everybody, and it is August 23rd, 2023, and we do this every Wednesday night with Dr. Joel Wallach, and we welcome you all here for 30 minutes. We'll be here, and legally we must say that this meeting is for educational and entertainment purposes only. What you hear tonight is not intended to diagnose, treat, or cure. And with that being said, it takes great discipline and changes in our mindset and our habits to have these protocols work. So we'd like for everybody to mute the phones, and Dr. Wallach is going to give us about a 15-minute presentation. And if you have a desire to make a 90-day change in your lifestyle, you've come to the right place. Dr. Wallach has done this research, and the development team with him has created an army while raising his children from a boathouse, a zoo, and on the road, and now on Zoom and all across the world. We're just so grateful. So if you please write down your questions and raise your hand in the chat, and we'll get right to your questions after he's through. So Dr. Wallach, thank you for the call. The call is yours.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Pam and Dave. Thank you, team, and thank you, world. Okay, we're so happy and proud to be able to help people add many healthy years to their life. And it's not difficult, but you do have to be consistent. It's very important. You got to be consistent. And of course, you already talked about avoiding the bad foods: no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no barley, rye, oats, no buckwheat, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet drinks got to go, and also carbonated water, because they neutralize stomach acids, so you cannot absorb minerals and digest food. All that stuff is in my book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. It has a good food, bad food list in there. It's got 300 pages of recipes, good and safe recipes. Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. That's a good place for everybody to start. And then I want to talk about the most common and the most costly diseases in America and the world, actually. Let's just talk about America today. And basically, it's people say, what, you're going to talk about again? Well, we're going to talk about arthritis and osteoporosis. Juvenile arthritis in the United States, under 16 years of age, there are 300,000 cases in the United States registered. 300,000 American kids under the age of 16 with arthritis. Just that's absolutely criminal. Okay, simple nutritional deficiencies. It's not genetic, not autoimmune, and certainly if they're under 16, it's not an age thing. Our annual cost of treating the symptoms of arthritis in America each year in America is $626.8 billion with a B, $626.8 billion just to treat the symptoms, not to prevent or cure. Now you have to appreciate that there's all this stuff going on with your bones. Every mammal on Earth, whether a whale or a wombat or a human being or a rabbit or a rat or a kangaroo, all have bones and joints. Well, your bones are primarily minerals, okay? Everybody knows about calcium and all that kind of stuff. Your joints are very complicated because they have bones, but they also have the materials that you get cartilage and tendons and ligaments from, okay? So the joints are very complicated. And the doctors will say, oh, just eat well, you get everything you need. That's absolutely not true, because nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. Plants do not make minerals, and minerals make up 2/3, make up 60 of the 90 essential nutrients. And prior to 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Monday, September 4th, 1882, we were getting our minerals from the wood ashes, the coal ashes, resulting from burning wood and coal in wood stoves and in home fires and those kinds of things, okay? And so it's one of those things where we're getting our minerals that way. And they would put the ashes, okay, from the wood fires and stoves and so forth into the gardens, and they get bigger yields, bigger plants, bigger onions, bigger peppers, bigger tomatoes, and more of it. But what they didn't realize was, in addition to getting more yield, the plants were also sucking up the minerals. So when we ate the plants that were fertilized with these plant minerals and from wood and also from coal, we were getting those minerals. When we went to electricity, suddenly now our mineral source that we had for what? For 3,000 years went away almost overnight. In about 20 years, it all went away. We had at least 50 new diseases that everybody thought were genetic, because that's what they were told by the research and medical communities. And it's because we didn't have the source of minerals anymore. Fireplaces, it all used to go into the garden. Okay, no more. All right. Osteoporosis is primarily the long parts of the bones, but there is osteoporosis in the joints also. And just 3 communities, the United States, Canada, and the European Union, each year we spend 6.5 trillion with a T, $6.5 trillion just to treat the symptoms, not to prevent it or cure it. So when you're talking about treating the symptoms of osteoporosis and arthritis in the United States, we're spending about $3 trillion, okay, between our $2.3 trillion that we spend on osteoporosis and $626.8 billion for arthritis, together, $3 trillion a year. Okay, that's very scary stuff. And the impact is terrible because you make red blood cells in your bones, you know, chronic anemia and blood problems and so forth. You make white blood cells in your bone marrow, just like you make your red blood cells. As part of your immune system, your white blood cells kill and eat cancer cells. And if you're not getting everything right, your bones are dying and you're shrinking and you're susceptible to infections. And this is a terrible, terrible, terrible thing. Okay. So when you have osteoporosis of the skull, which people don't think about, osteoporosis of the skull, and I think I've shown this before to this group, but let's look at it again. The skull, in a normal skull, okay, this is in the book, It's All in Your Head. Okay. Here we go. The normal skull, and this is an autopsy. We've taken the top of the skull off. You're looking down in the brain. The normal skull is a 1/4 of an inch thick. This is also an autopsy. The top of the skull has been removed. You're looking down in the brain. But this is osteoporosis of the skull. The skull is 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick and squeezing the 12 pairs of cranial nerves. It's squeezing the 12 pairs of cranial nerves and the spinal cord. There's 37 different diseases you get. And each chapter in this book, It's All in Your Head, is one of the 12 cranial nerves. And also we have a CD in there for the spinal cord. Okay. It's one of those things where this is easily all prevented. Okay. We have the products. You take your Healthy Bone and Joint Pack, which was our first one for Theo Ratliff. It was our Healthy Start Pack, and we created our first collagen product. Okay. The glucogel, and added the glucogel to the Healthy Start Pack and turned it into the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack. And Theo Ratliff lost his contract, okay, with the Hawks, for professional basketball. He had a $35 million contract. He lost it because he had bone-to-bone arthritis in his knees, his hips, had a fracture in his right wrist, which is a shooting arm. And so he took his contract away. He lost $35 million. So his teammate, Mike Glenn, the Stinger was his nickname, the Stinger, Mike Glenn, brought him to us, and we came up with the Healthy Bone and Joint Pack and also a Rebound, okay, for Theo Ratliff. And he played for another 11 years and made $100 million. Okay. And so he took at least half of that and he built, well, he didn't build, but he bought, because it was already built, a community activity center. Okay. And he gives it access to that free to kids who want to be professional or Olympic or university athletes, who want to be doctors, who want to be pharmacists, that kind of stuff. And so really have to give Theo Ratliff a pat on the back. Okay. And it's one of those things where this is very simple stuff. Okay. And just when you look at the 12 pairs of cranial nerves, cranial nerve number 1 gets squeezed, you lose your sense of smell. You can't smell things. The olfactory nerve. Cranial nerve number 2, optic nerve atrophy. You get what's called glaucoma, pressure in the eye, and macular degeneration. That's the back of the inside of the eye, where all the blood vessels come in there and the nerves and everything, and they're all dying because the skull is squeezing that second cranial nerve. The third cranial nerve, when it gets squeezed, your pupil does not respond to light. Cranial nerve number 4, when it gets squeezed, You get a pain in your eye because you get double vision and palsy in your eye, okay? And then, let's see here, when the fifth cranial nerve gets squeezed, trigeminal neuralgia, that's the most painful headache you can have, trigeminal neuralgia. Usually it's one side first, maybe a couple of months later, the other one will have the same thing. Cranial nerve number 6, double vision. Cranial nerve number 7, Bell's palsy, one side of your face droops, looks awful and you get a headache. Cranial nerve number 8, you get tinnitus, it's ringing in the ears, deafness, ringing in the ears. Those two things are caused by osteoporosis of the vestibular branch, the auditory branch of the eighth cranial nerve. The vestibular branch of the eighth cranial nerve, when it gets squeezed, you get vertigo. When you have vertigo, deafness, and tinnitus, you have what's called Meniere's disease. Very common and very disruptive and very painful. Cranial nerve number 9 being squeezed, your gag reflex goes away, your sense of taste goes away, your voice changes. Okay, and this is the glossopharyngeal nerve. The gastroparesis, cranial nerve number 10 is terrible stomach pain, hiccups. The branch of that nerve goes to the diaphragm, you get hiccups, and then AFib, atrial fibrillation. It's not a heart issue, but doctors want to treat it as a heart issue. It's the most dangerous treatment of all medical treatments is ablation, where they put the nerve identification, the 10th cranial nerve, and they buzz it with electricity, and they have the highest death rate. So you don't want ablation. Okay, gastroparesis, COPD, hiccups, and AFib, tachycardia, fast heart rate, bradycardia, low heart rate. We can fix that very quickly with a nutritional program, the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack. Okay, and then cranial nerve number 11, loss of the trapezius. You can't raise your arms above your head. Cranial nerve number 11, cranial nerve number 12, atrophy of the tongue, your voice, speech, swallowing. So if you're having pressure on your 9th cranial nerve and your 12th cranial nerve, you're in trouble. Okay, so all this together, doctors don't know anything about it. They never even knew about it. And so we called all this pattern here Wallach's fibrosis, because all of these things are connective tissue taking over where the bone should be. Okay, and it's really, really, really very simple thing to reverse Wallach's fibrosis. We have a professional, recipe. Okay, that's what I'm looking for, a recipe. Okay, and it never fails. I always say, give us 90 days and you'll be a new person. If you have any of these issues, you'll be a new person and you can add 25 to 50 health years to your life. Okay, now, with all that said, we want to just take our next couple of minutes, which are the last couple of minutes in our 15 minutes of presentation. We, of course, have our rebound, okay, our rebound. And the rebound, of course, is our sports drink with 75 minerals in it and 25 vitamins, amino acids. Red Bull, the biggest selling sports drink in the world, has only one mineral, magnesium. It's primarily giving people energy from caffeine and sugar. Okay, we give people energy because we are giving their systems and all their cells necessary for energy, what they need to perform properly. And so we're doing it through nutrition as opposed to primarily sugar and caffeine. So with all that said, I'm going to turn it over to Dave and Pam. And what you got for us?
Thank you, Dr. Wallach. Can you hear me okay?
Hello?
Hi, Dr. Wallach. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. You know, I really appreciate that. I remember when we met you and Shar over in Michigan on the west side, and you introduced that book, It's All in Your Head. And my chin dropped, and I said, my God, that's exactly what my doctor said, that it was all in my head. And he let me go. You know, he said, don't come back. You know, told me to go to a mental doctor. So I appreciate you, you know, saying all these things exactly. You know, 1 is the smell, 2 is the optic nerve, 3 is the pupil, which I don't have all of those things going on. So I know that my problems are all in my head. I know our bodies are all connected, and we have this great energy, you know, with everybody. So I just wanted to thank you for that. And so if you could take a question here. I have a gentleman that he had a situation happen last Wednesday, and he's here today. And I'd just like to ask you if his name is Ken, and I'd like Ken to ask you a couple questions here, please.
Okay, Ken, how can we help you?
Oh, hi, Dr. Wallach. I want to thank you for all you do. For
You're very welcome. How can we help you, sir?
to those who are interested in knowing it, very powerful to help the body heal. As God
And towards
works,
the end of this year, I'm gonna start getting to Michigan again when all this COVID thing is over.
I weigh about one. Well, they weighed me. I weigh 156. I don't have no fat on me at all.
Okay,
I've never really been able to gain a lot of weight. I broke my shoulder, my clavicle Wednesday. Looks like, the doctor's like, we used to fix all of these, but now it's like, we really don't have to fix any of them unless they're obviously broken the skin or something's going on. So, yeah, I got a little problem here. They haven't set it. They haven't tried to set it. I've got a X brace, I believe it's called, and I'm wearing that right now.
okay, so your complaint is you have 2 fractures, one on your collarbone and one on your shoulder.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any other issues? Do you have any high blood pressure or diabetes?
No.
Do you have any ringing in your ears, tinnitus?
No, every once in a while, but I think somebody's talking about me. It's
Okay,
like it's like once in a blue moon. I'm like,
sure.
somebody's talking.
Okay. Do you have any
But
high blood pressure or diabetes?
no.
Okay. All right, well, here we go. Once you get rid of all the bad foods, so you maximize absorption and stop inflammation. So no fried foods, no processed meats, no oil, no gluten, no wheat, butter, rye, and oats, no buckwheat. There's no gluten in buckwheat, but buckwheat has Fago, F-A-G-O pyrines in it, which are 10 times worse than gluten. They kill your intestine, so you cannot absorb efficiently. And then you got to stay away from sugar. You got to stay away from the carbonated drinks. Even the diet drinks got to go, and also carbonated water because they neutralize stomach acids, so you cannot absorb minerals and digest food.
I see.
And then at 156 pounds, once you have 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dosing twice a day. When you get 2 bottles a month of our MSM, so you take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner, and they're going to help support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc, between vertebrae, bone, makes your bone itself. Very important there. And then, let's see here. We also like you to have our collagen peptides. Take a scoop of that in your morning drink, evening drink. And then also we want you to have our rebound or sports drink. We have the sticks. Okay. The sticks, there's 30 sticks in a box. Each stick has 75 minerals in there and 25 vitamins and amino acids. Just clip the top off and pour it in your bottle of water. Okay. And that's in addition to your other nutrients. Okay. And then we also have the canister, which has 36 servings in it. The stick, there's 30 servings in a box. Okay. And so it's one of those things where, I'm sure you're going to be wearing something to hold your arm in place.
Well, they did give me a sling, but after, let's see. Well, yeah, they gave me a sling on Thursday actually. And then Monday, once they give me this X brace, I ditched it. Kind of tough.
We'll use the sling as much as you can because you want to support that. You don't want that fracture moving around. Because the more it moves around, the longer it takes to heal. Okay.
I think it's
okay. So keep us informed, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time I get up into Michigan.
Yes. Fantastic. That would be a pleasure to see you.
Okay. Look forward to meeting you, sir. Okay. Dave and Pam, what do we got?
Okay, I don't see any hands raised, but I have another question in regards to a 77-year-old man, and he's about 6 foot. Weight is not an issue, but he had a surgery, and his legs are swollen. He's wearing those stockings, and so he's had a couple surgeries on the leg and ankle, and I'm wondering what he can do about swelling. And his memory's kind of, I don't think he drinks enough water, for one thing. And after the surgery, he had a few medications added, which are causing.
Okay. Well, you have to appreciate he's not going to get what he needs to heal properly from his food. food does not have all 90 essential nutrients in it. Once we went to electricity, we gave up our source of minerals, which was wood ashes and coal ashes. And once we went to electricity, all that went away. And so people that did get some benefit from wood ashes and coal ashes 3,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago, 200 years ago, are not getting those minerals anymore. So you do have to supplement. There's no escaping it. And so it, let's see here. Let's say per 100 pounds of body weight, and you say we don't know his weight, is that correct?
No, probably about 160.
Okay, so let's go with 150. So he needs to, get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, no bar, rye oats, no buckwheat, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. Diet drinks and and the carbonated water. And then 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. Full dose of everything twice a day. That's going to give him 215 nutrients, including the 90 essential nutrients. Okay. And then he needs, in addition to the 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, he needs 2 bottles a month of the MSM. So he can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, or dinner time. They're going to support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between the vertebrae, bone, makes bone itself. And then he also needs the collagen peptides, 2 of those little canisters, so he can put a scoop with his morning drinks with his evening drink. Okay. And then also he needs the rebounder sports drink for high energy, high nutrient sports drink. Okay. 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids. Red Bull only has 1 mineral, magnesium. We have 75 minerals. Okay. And so the more minerals he gets, the faster he's going to heal those fractures and sprains and all that kind of stuff in his knees and ankles and toes and hips and so on. Okay. And again, this is one of the biggest issues we have in the world is osteoporosis and arthritis, simply because people, they listen to the doctor who says, oh, don't waste your money on vitamins, just eat well, you get everything you need. Well, it was more true, you get everything you need thousands of years ago when we were using wood ashes and coal ashes for fertilizer and also spices in our food. Okay. But once we went to electricity, that source of minerals went away. That was devastating. And of course, medical doctors never thought about that. And so when I was getting so many people on the autopsy table dead and
Uh-oh, Doc, freeze up. Hello, we lose Doc? Or is he frozen? I know it's awful cold over there.
I think it's
Is it?
frozen.
Oh, hi, Laura.
Hi.
Hi, Dora.
Hi. Hi, guys. Uh-oh.
Dave, if you can answer about the swollen legs and the forgetfulness until we get Dr. Wallach back, what would you suggest?
So, yeah, I would suggest, 4 to 6 eggs per 100 pounds of body weight, because the brain, the solid matter of the brain, makes up 75% of the brain weight, and it's almost 100% cholesterol. So get off the statin drugs. That's one drug doc says you can stop cold turkey immediately. And, I wouldn't take it, and I know Doc wouldn't take it. And, I can't tell him not to take it, but, all it's doing is causing that forgetfulness, and it leads to Alzheimer's. So eggs is great. And then we got Synaptive for that. It's a great brain nutrient formula that Doc created. And, the nutrition will help with the swelling in the legs. And, we got to move. Where the body's designed to move, and the less movement we get, the more fluid builds up. So I like those little rebounders, little mini trampolines. They make them with a handlebar, so you stabilize yourself. You don't jump on it. You just kind of lightly bounce. Your feet don't move off the mat, and it gets that lymphatic fluid moving, and that's what expels toxins out of your body. The lymphatic fluid, there's more of that than blood in the body, and there's no pumping system like a heart for the blood, so we got to pump it ourselves. Try that and check back in with us and let us know how you're doing.
Thanks for that, Dave. Yeah, Laura, you have your hand up. Are you able to unmute?
Yeah, hi, I'm actually unmuted. I was just going to say hi, guys. It's good to be back. I came back from my trip last week, and I did want to let Dr. Wallach know and share with everybody how I was able to help my mom while she's at the nursing home. So too bad Doc is not on, unfortunately. But yeah, I was able to apply that treatment that Dr. Wallach outlines in the lecture Praise the Lord and Past the 90s, where he's discussing how he helped this this pastor get out of a coma for 6 weeks. And my mom is not in a coma, but she's been stuck at a nursing home, bedridden from having a broken leg. And the leg wasn't healing on its own. So I wanted to apply the same principle to my mom and try to give her body the raw nutrients, so her the healing process could get a kickstart. And I think it helped. So I brought a bunch of products with me, dry products, because the liquids are a killer to carry when you travel. So yeah, I brought mineral caps, Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0, mineral sticks, any product that we have that I could think of that is in powder with the minerals, I brought, and I got my mom to drink it. And I also did the, can you guys hear me okay? I hear a lot of noise.
Yes.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah,
good.
we hear you.
All right, good. Well, so I managed to mix up this concoction, and I applied it to her skin. We did a skin treatment, sort of a sponge bath type of thing. And we did that 2 times a day, 1 hour each time. And I did that for 2 weeks, or for however long I was able to do it while I was there, probably 12, 13 days. And towards the end of my stay, I would say the last 3 days, my mom started making comments that the part of the leg that had the break, the fracture, was starting to hurt a little bit. And from what I understand, I've never had a broken bone, but from what I understand, when the bone starts to hurt in that area where it's been broken, that's because it's healing. So that's all very good news. And I heard a couple of people say that. Someone told me today that Dr. Wallach has even said that. That's why I was hoping to bring that up with him on the call. But anyway, so yeah, so overall it went well. My mom started feeling better. She started sleeping better. Her mood improved, and I believe that we kickstarted the process of the bone healing. So I'm really pleased with how the process went. I almost wish that I could have stayed an extra week, but it is what it is. So you got to go back to work. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to share that. And I will know in a couple of weeks, I will know a little bit more after they take x-rays, new x-rays of her leg. So.
Yes, absolutely. And as we believe, we shall receive. That's the key, to believe that we are getting better. And our mind is very powerful when we realize that we're doing something that is helping. And we're like, this is going to work. Then we achieve this where we want to be with our health, as receiving it.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. So anyway, I just wanted to share that, and I'll again get back to you guys and let you know what the update is.
Laura, how'd you pull that off in the hospital? You were kind of worried that they weren't going to let you do that there in Italy. So how did you present it to any of them that when they walked in?
You know what? That's a good point. Yeah, I did. I was concerned about that, and it wasn't a big deal. Actually, I didn't even see the doctor, but the nurses and the people, the other employees that come in, and they're not nurses, but they help with the cleaning process and bring the food and whatnot. they were actually very interested. I managed to raise a lot of interest in our products because they were all interested in what I was doing, and they saw that it wasn't hurting my mom, and it wasn't anything that really they couldn't really say anything about it because they're not, it's not in their jurisdiction, so they didn't know one way or another if I was doing something good or bad. But my mom, they saw how my mom was, and she was reacting really well, so she was happy and she was sleeping better. They cut her off a couple of medications, so overall they didn't have a problem with it. And the doctor knew that I was there, and I guess she probably got the feedback that I was doing that, and she didn't come and say anything negative. So yeah, it was fine. It was fine. I was more worried than I needed to be honest, but I'm pleased that they didn't get in my way because I was determined to do this.
Bella.
We appreciate you. That is awesome. I'm so glad it worked out so great.
Yeah, thanks. Well, I mean, I don't want to take up the rest of the time, but I just wanted to thank you for letting me share my story.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you got to do.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, that's awesome news. Very good.
Yep.
Okay, we're at the top of the hour, guys. Thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, sounds good. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye. Good to be back.
Glad to have you back.
Bye.
And better tomorrow.
Thank you. You too.